Wake up, honey, I made you breakfast. Fresh coffee and bagels too. A new day is waiting for us. We got lots of fun stuff to do. Let's go to the zoo and feed the monkeys. I can lend them your baseball cap. Let's make the day a barrel of fun. Growing up is just a trap. Don't it seem like a drag?
Hello everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one and all. 'Tis the amazing gaming guy here, and welcome back to my build of Mainstreet in Planet Coaster, where you will always be welcome, my friends, my family. So this week I thought it would be a good idea to flesh out the sort of street layout that we've got and make some sort of early finishing touches. By that I mean things like curbs, railings, trees and fences, just to really start to bring this area into a whole, if you know what I mean. You know, I've done the buildings and stuff, and now I just need to get a greater sense of how the area is starting to look by adding a few of these more minor adjustments. But it will not just be minor adjustments this week, because I will also be adding a sort of a kiosk for food or information or merchandise, and a flat ride, which is going to be a sort of a chair swinger flat ride, spins round and round, and lighting. So I'll be putting in street lights and string lights on a bunch of the buildings to light it all up at night time. So yeah, lots and lots and lots of things to do today, so let's jump right into it, shall we? So as you can see so far, what I've been doing is putting in the curbs and putting some railings on top of that, just for this area of Mainstreet, between the two sort of coaster interaction buildings in inverted commas, because the coaster's gone. And I've also put some trees down the middle of the Mainstreet as well. Before you guys get not annoyed, but start to talk about how this is not quite looking like a typical Mainstreet, especially if you're looking at Disney as a direct reference. I'm fully aware of it, and this has changed since this video, in fact, because next video I will be moving all of the assets I've made so far into a brand new park, and I'll basically be building my version of Disney's Magic Kingdom or Disneyland, or you know, any of the Disney parks that feature a Mainstreet as the main entrance to the park. So what I'm doing with that, and you'll see exactly what I'm doing next time, but what I'm aiming to do with that is just to have a much larger space for the Mainstreet, and to also have the Mainstreet at the entrance to the park, and then to really do it right in terms of ride placement, building placement, theming placement, and like the flow of people, and the sort of throughput of various rides, putting them where they're needed for the people. I'm going to try and get really technical with it. I've been doing my research, I've been looking things up, I've been looking at maps, I've been looking at references, I've even been talking to people who know Disney parks very well, even one person who actually works at a Disney park, and he was very lovely, and he was very kind enough to really give me some insider knowledge, not into the working at a Disney park, because you're not allowed to talk about that when you work there, but the just the way that a Disney park is built, really, because you know, obviously working there, you'll have a lot of experience being in the park. You'll know, and you'll sort of start to understand why they build it in the way they do. So yeah, I've been getting a lot of help and a lot of information, and I was just thinking, you know what, I'm not doing this accurately enough currently, so I'm gonna take all the buildings I got, put them in a new park, and do it right. So yeah, that's my plan for next time, and you'll see that starting to come into effect very, very soon. But for this episode, I'm just carrying on, and I'm building the kiosk that I mentioned at the start. Now, this is just a sort of little area in the middle where I can put a food shop or a merchandise shop or something in here. I'm not sure which shop I'm putting in merchandise shops currently. So yeah, I think I will keep it as a merch shop, I think, or like a donut stall or something. We'll see how it goes, especially when I move it into the new park. Obviously its purpose might change a little bit. But yeah, I was just trying to make this sort of quite ornate and quite interesting. I've gone for a colour scheme of sort of a... what is that? It's like a light sort of duck egg blue, almost, or a sky blue. It's yeah, really sort of nice pale pastel-y blue, and a sort of creamy off-white colour. So that's the colour scheme I'm going for with this building, and really my plan for the whole of Main Street is to have a different colour scheme on each building, but obviously a colour scheme that also works in tandem with the colour schemes elsewhere. So what I've really got is a colour palette. You know, I've got sort of a pale red, a pale green, pale blue, that sort of thing, and I'm just sort of using a different section of that palette for each building. So each building looks unique, but also fits with its surroundings and with the other buildings. So yeah, and then I started going up and building a second floor with a little balcony thing, and I started to try and build the roof, which I did want to make it like a circular roof, but I started by putting on this square roof, and I sort of realised that it would be too much effort for what it was worth to try and make a circle roof here, just because the square one worked just fine, really. I thought it was okay, and then I went around and tried to put like a border around that square roof, just to block off the underneath so you can't see up into the roof, and just to blend it a little more, make it appropriate to the other buildings. And now, as you can see, I'm going around and putting some little trimming around the bottom of the building, and I'm going to copy all of that, shift it upwards, and put a trimming around the bottom of the second floor of the building as well. And for this I'm just using those little stucco pillar bases, because I think they look kind of funky, kind of nice, and on the corners I'm going up with the stucco pillars, just to give it a bit more detail, make it look really nice. So yeah, now I'm going underneath these, the roof, and I'm placing some wooden platforms just so you can't see directly to the underside of the roof, and my Windows Explorer popped up for a moment there. Sorry, I should have cut that out, never mind. I've been having so much trouble because I've been trying to regulate how much of my storage I use, because obviously I've got a hard drive and an SSD, and for editing it's so much better if I record directly onto the SSD, so I can edit straight off of it, because it makes it so much quicker, so much easier. The write speeds are better, the read speeds are better, but obviously my SSD is quite small. It's like 250 gig, and it's got my operating system and lots of programs on it, so I have to be very careful not to use it all. And these video files do come out pretty big. You know, each episode is probably 15 gig or something. They're huge. So yeah, it gets clogged up pretty quickly, and I have to keep checking, make sure I haven't clogged it all up. So I guess that's what I did there, and I forgot to cut it out. Yay! Little see behind the scenes of my my building process. Yeah, so back to the building. I've gone around and I've put in some windows, and I've put these little awning covers over the windows, and again I'm using that sort of off-white, cream, and pale blue colour scheme for that, and then again on the fences on the top, using the slightly pale blue for the fencing on the very top, and then a cream for the border. And I thought it looked pretty funky. I liked that. And I've made sure that I've put on lots of lights, and then I'm going to the bottom and putting in some more windows around the bottom. Just to, again, add more detail, make it look really cool, make it really, really, really nice. So yeah, I thought I'd take a quick moment as well to talk about some other things. So I've got quite a lot of time to devote to the channel now. So I was thinking about starting some other series, and something that a lot of you guys suggested a couple of weeks ago when I did my Q&A video was that I could do a City Skyline series, and I've been thinking about it, and I've just bought the Mass Transit DLC, which came out just 2 days ago, and I'm really enjoying it, and I think I might go ahead and do a series on that. So yeah, if you think that's a good idea, then please do let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see, and if you have any suggestions for what you think I should do with that, what you think I should build. I don't intend to do it as a time-lapse series really, just because I'm already doing 2 or 3 time-lapse episodes of Planet Coaster each week, and all of that time-lapse stuff means that I'm actually building for a really long time. So I'm hoping to do City Skylines and talk directly over it as I'm playing. So yeah, that's my plan for that one. And I also wanted to know if you guys have any suggestions for my the new park I'm building. So it's basically a park inspired by the Disney parks, and if you have any suggestions for rides that you would like to see in that, I've got a whole new park to play with. So yeah, do let me know. I'm probably going to be somewhat following the Disney format, so I'll probably have a sort of a Frontierland area where I'll probably do my own take on Big Thunder Mountain, maybe Splash Mountain, and I'm going to do my equivalent sort of Tomorrowland area probably. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in there. I'm not too keen to try and replicate Space Mountain, because dark rides in this game very tricky. Especially with the way that the nighttime and shadows and stuff works. I was really hoping when they made this game that you'd be able to make proper dark rides in which just by sealing a building it will be completely pitch black in there, but that doesn't seem to have happened, which is quite disappointing, but hey ho. So we'll see what happens with that. If you have any ideas for the Tomorrowland area, do let me know, because I'm a little bit stuck on what to put in there at the moment. And yeah, and in terms of the sort of Fantasyland, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with that one either, because I'm not too keen to use too much in the way of IPs, because I don't want to start going down the sort of Snow White, Seven Dwarfs, Mine Train and that sort of thing. I don't really want to use those classic Disney films and stuff as basis for any of my rides, because I'm not making a replica of a Disney park, I'm just making my version. But I could make it a fairy tale area, I suppose. We'll see what happens with that one as well. So yeah, if you have any ideas for any of these areas, or any other ride or any other thing you'd like to see in that park, again, let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much. And again, back to the build. So I've just put in this chair swing flat ride. I thought it fit really well in the park, and especially the Mainstreet area, because it's a very sort of classic ride, and the theming is very, very classic on it as well. And I was able to match the colours as well, using the sort of yellows, very pale yellows, very pale blues that I've got elsewhere in the Mainstreet area. So yeah, I thought that fit in pretty well. And now I'm just going around and putting down some street lights to illuminate this area, so that people can actually see where they're going at night time and not bump into each other in the dark. Main Street is not a spooky area, or it's not meant to be anyway. Yeah, and then I went around my little kiosk and put in some uplighting and sort of feature lighting, and this that was the point where I started to play around with putting in string lights, and I really liked how the string lights looked, and I thought it was pretty cool. Again, maybe not so accurate in terms of replicating a Mainstreet style, but this is my version of Mainstreet and I really liked them, so they're here to stay, and I like them so much that I went around and started trying to put them on other buildings as well. I didn't want them to look too Christmassy, so I made sure they kept to a sort of 2-colour scheme on each building. I don't want it to be too colourful because it looks very Christmas if you do. But yeah, that is just about all we have time for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this, please leave a like, comment and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!
No other could enchant me, darling, like you do. I've just got eyes for you. I've just got eyes for you. I've just got eyes for you.